Barry Watts here from WealthCare Asset Management, LLC. I wanted to talk with you for a moment about something called a target date fund. Many people have target date funds in their 401k plans. Let me tell you how those came to be. When I first came into the industry 31 years ago, those didn't exist. The people who ran 401ks, the big companies, and the individuals who show up in your offices to help you select your investments and get enrolled, they frankly got tired of the phone calls saying, how should we invest? Because the public didn't know which investments to select. And so to answer that question and deal with the myriad phone calls they were getting, they developed a really ingenious method which said, well, you just need to pick the date at which you're going to retire. That is your target date. Now, what they do in the background is the closer you are to the target date, the more they move you away from equities or stocks, and the closer and more they move you into bonds. And so the older you get, the closer to retirement you get, the more bonds that you happen to own. So this is seemingly a logical way to operate, but it can backfire. In fact, we had a client come in to see us not long ago who was 2 years away from retirement, and he had owned a big portfolio of bonds. He didn't even know it because all he saw that he owned was the target date fund. But because he was 2 years away from retiring, they had moved him more and more and more into bonds. His retirement account was mostly a bond portfolio. And as interest rates rise, bonds fall in value. So he was in a rising interest rate environment 2 years before retirement, and he lost about 30% of his 401k value merely because he had moved it from the risky stock market into the safe bond market. Well, what he learned is bonds weren't so safe, and actually target date funds weren't either. So target date funds can be an effective tool, but it's important to understand that they can also bite you in the butt if you don't understand what they own and how it is responding to the markets. At the WealthCare Corporation and WealthCare Asset Management, LLC, one of the things that we help people do is determine what their own risk profile is and whether or not their investments meet that risk profile. If you've got target date funds in your 401k and you're concerned about whether or not they're appropriate for you, we'll be happy to take a look at them, determine what percentage of those is equities and bonds, and figure out whether that's the right allocation for you. Just give us a call at WealthCare Asset Management, LLC, 417-865-0936. If you like this content, please follow and subscribe. And for more information, please look in the description below.